I want to show you how to splint this broken foreleg on a boer goat back. Today we can clearly see here that the lower leg is broken between the hock and the hoof. So we can use as splints this plastic water pipe that I've split lengthwise in half, and I've rounded the corners to prevent any chafing injuries to the goat. Place those splints over the area to be splinted on the leg on opposing sides. What I'm doing here is cushioning that leg with cotton wool, which I wrap thickly around the leg to prevent any chafing or injury caused by the splints. Wrap it around the leg tightly, but not so tightly so as to reduce or eliminate any blood flow to the lower parts of the limb. Okay, so take the two splint halves and make sure that they disable or immobilize the joint on both sides of the break. Make sure that the splints are firmly applied to the leg, but not so tightly as to cut off blood flow to that limb. We're now going to use these self-adhesive bandages, and we wrap that bandage tightly around the splint to keep it in place. Again, taking care not to eliminate blood flow on the limb by wrapping that bandage around the splints too tightly. Make sure that you wrap the entire length of those splints on both sides of the broken limb. These bandages are self-adhesive, so there's no need for any additional plaster or tape, adhesive tape. You can also extend that bandage, as demonstrated here, onto the limb itself to prevent the splint from dropping down on the limb and into the mud. Here we have a nice, neatly splinted and isolated, immobilized limb. This buck will now be placed into a small grazing paddock where he can be kept as immobile as possible. So we've separated him from the other animals, and he will now stay there for 6 weeks until that bone has joined again.